Boy, it's amazing that it's been a year. I remember sitting back there with the Wise family and the Fisherback family, and we had a really good time, and I thought, I really hope I can get at that table again. And then they asked me to speak, and I said, really? You want to hand me the mic? But this is an absolute thrill for me. I'm extremely grateful to have the opportunity to speak in front of you this evening as we celebrate the historic season and recognize a championship team. Like Brad mentioned, I work at 97.5 FM. Last 4 years, I've been really fortunate to broadcast this team on the radio. It's funny where life takes you. As you get older, it's interesting to look back at the journey. I grew up in Dayton, and in the winter, as a kid, and like most kids do, you always want a snow day. My mother worked in special education. And if there was one person in our family that would know if school was closed or there was a delay, it was going to be my mom. But I always had to see it for myself. And before one calls and social media, you had the bottom line on television. You still have that, but I used to be glued to the TV looking at the schools go across. Franklin Monroe, Mississinawa Valley, Tri-Village. And I thought, I don't know where those schools are, but I need to get there. Sitting there, continuing to watch the screen, hoping that somehow my school would miraculously pop up. My mom would finally tell me, Alex, get ready. Summer of 2011, I was informed I would be covering Tri-Village for boys and girls basketball. When it comes to me covering high school basketball, I love the junior varsity game. It's a chance for me to relax and just be a fan. Watching the JV team that year, they had a really good squad. First year in covering the Patriots, the junior varsity team started to make some noise. They were on cruise control, undefeated for the season. It was one of the last games during the regular season. And they were playing Lehman Catholic. I don't remember all the details to the game, but they were in trouble. I remember at the end of that game, there was a foul call, and if I'm not mistaken, Tommy Bell went to the line and made 2 free throws. Somehow, the Patriots won the game. I remember the Lehman coach, he was devastated. He ran off the floor chasing the officials. And the first thing I was thinking was, one, I would probably do the same thing if I was the coach. And number 2, how did Tri-Village win that game? It was a beautiful night of basketball. The varsity game was just as entertaining. Kyle Pippinger got hot in the 4th quarter, and the Patriots would sweep Lehman for the night. However, the JV game stood out because that was the night I learned of the winning tradition. In sports, I feel like you have talent and then you have winners. Sometimes it goes hand in hand, but there are some teams that just find a way to win. That season, Tri-Village JV would go undefeated. The varsity team would finish the season 20-4 with a heartbreaking loss in overtime in the district championship to eventual state runner-up Jackson Center. The next year, the Patriots ended the regular season undefeated and would win the district title before falling in another heartbreaking overtime loss to Troy Christian in the regional semi. From making it past the district and into the regional, the 2013-14 Patriots would continue that trend of just moving up the ladder. Last year's team would avenge a loss to Troy Christian by beating the Eagles twice in the season and eventually winning the 2014 regional championship. The Final Four, the big stage. And unfortunately, another tough loss, but this time to eventual state champion Convoy Crestview. What if? 2 words that normally are the start of a disappointing sentence. What if moments can really eat at you, or they can make you stronger? In years past, Tri-Village had taken those what-if moments and just advanced further the next year. During the off-season, people would ask me, Alex, can this team do it? Like I have the answers. And then there were other individuals that are really confident, saying, this is our year, we're going all the way. It's a really confident fan base here in southwest Darke County. However, it's really hard to win a district title, let alone a regional championship. And 2 years in a row, a lot goes into a great season, and more importantly, a tournament run. 1, healthy players, injuries occur. That can be the biggest roadblock. 2, in the game of basketball, foul trouble can dictate games. 3, high school basketball, transfers occur. Players pop up. Where did he come from? It didn't happen last year. Talking about high school kids, yeah, the idea and the objective is to win. That's one moment. The next moment, cool, I can grow facial hair. You never necessarily know what's going up top. But one thing I do know is the off-season, that weight can be brutal. When's it going to start? When's basketball season going to get here? And this year, what's this team going to do? Tri-Village in Northridge. Here we go. Patriots come out and they all have the Josh Sagister haircut. And I'm sitting there going, he's gone too far. The Polar Bears have size, athleticism, good guard play, and toughness. Not always what you want to see when it comes to your first game. Patriots get in foul trouble. It's a 2-point game at the beginning of the 4th quarter. And there's some concern. But Brett Woodard comes off the bench, hits some threes, and Josh turns into Riverboat Ron, rolls the dice, puts Colton Lingus and Damian Cook into the game with 4 fouls. And the Patriots cruise to a 73-54 victory. A few weeks pass, and it's undefeated Tri-Village and undefeated Franklin Monroe. We've seen this before. And it's all Patriots. Tri-Village wins by 30. But the talk's not about the game, but more importantly, what happened at halftime with 2 communities coming together to support a young man in his own battle against cancer. Mitch McCabe taught me that high school basketball is so much more than a game, and would prove that this season would not just be about basketball. Tri-Village would host the first ever Patriot Holiday Classic, and the excitement is the chance at Tri-Village and Troy Christian. With easy wins for both teams in the opening round, I'm sitting in the hospitality room eating pizza with Tyler Van Winkle and Brecken Gray. Tyler is telling me I got to try the wings. I'm sitting there thinking I got to get to work. But headed into the gym to call Jefferson and Greenan, I was thinking, man, that's one cool customer. And man, was he cool that night. 22 points and another game winner in overtime as the Patriots win 55-53. Almost deja vu, as for the 2nd straight overtime game played in that gym, Tyler hits a shot. When looking back at Bethel for 2014, that was another, how did they win that game moment? They just found a way to win. This year against Troy Christian, it'd be a warm-up for Patriot Nation. To know that feeling of a 60-foot jumper floating through the air. Foreshadowing. The Patriots bring in the new year with 82 points on Arcanum, 106 against Miami Valley, 93 versus Bradford. Then the squad makes the trip to Miamisburg only to play another home game. How does that work? It always amazes me when I show up 20 minutes before the junior varsity game and Patriot Nation makes me feel late. This year I was also inspired to get to the game way before the junior varsity contest just to see Knox Morris miss dunk after dunk. I got to give it up to number 3 because there's no quitting Knox. And I kept thinking to myself, one of these times he's going to do it. And I want to be there to see it. Getting back to Miamisburg, although the Vikings were the home team, they play essentially a road game in their own gym. Tri-Village wins 55-32. Then all the talk is Tri-Village undefeated and Rushi undefeated. But what about Twin Valley South? The night before the big Division IV matchup at Flying to the Hoop, the Panthers from TVS play spoiler. tie the game with 7 seconds left. However, the Patriots find a way to win. Tyler drives the length of the floor to find Colton for the game winner at the buzzer, 38-36. A few hours later, Tri-Village would give Russia their first loss of the season, 56-49. Patriots would then put 110 on Tri-County North, and Colton would become the 5th player in school history to score 1,000 points. Then January 24th, Tri-Village versus Winchester. And the game that centers around the theme on a mission for Mitch. Both communities come out and put on an amazing performance. In the middle of a spectacular fundraiser, the Patriots beat the Falcons in a game, and more importantly, an atmosphere that I will never forget. A great player is an individual who makes everyone around him or her better. And Mitch McCabe did just that, and his fight and inspired an entire community to be better. A lesson that goes so beyond basketball. That was a beautiful night. The beat went on for Tri-Village with a win at National Trail, and then a huge home victory against the only other unbeaten team in the Cross-County Conference, the Miami East Vikings. Brett Boyder hits 4 consecutive threes at Covington, and the Patriots won on the road versus Bethel before coming home to play Ansonia. A lot of times when you look back at great teams, you'll stumble across broken records. I've seen this team essentially rewrite the record books. On February 13th, the Patriots would break several records. The first, Tyler becomes the all-time assist leader in school history. The second, TV would put 137 on Ansonia. The most points ever scored in a game in program history. In passing the 1991 state runner-up team. But more importantly, they would claim their 3rd consecutive league title and conference best 10th championship. However, the highlight of the night was one dunk. An alley-oop from Van Winkle to Mason McCabe. Maybe the best birthday gift I've ever seen. That night was Mitch's birthday, and little brother came through with the cake and candles all in one play. Never forget that smile on Mitch's face after the game. It was amazing what one play can do. He was proud. A good trip up State Route 118, and the Patriots found themselves against the Big Bad Mac. A lot of history in the Palace, but TV has no problems. 70-57 win at Coldwater. Landon Catholic was up next, another record-breaking night. Damien goes for 50. 32 minutes in a high school game. Big 25 doubles his number to become the all-time leader for points in a single game at Tri-Village. Senior night, and the last home game for Brandon Dowler, Damian Cook, Colton Linkus, and Mason McCabe. And the Patriots send off their seniors with a perfect regular season, beating Brookville 77-44. Tournament time, and the red, white, and blue take care of business in Troy. At the sectional, Gavin Richards leads Tri-Village in the opening round versus Emmanuel Christian. A couple dunks, and Cook joins the 1,000-point club with a win against Jefferson. And the Patriots would go on to beat Newton for the 2nd time in the season, their 4th straight sectional title. A trip to the University of Dayton. The Patriots play another team with great tradition, the Georgetown G-Men. Tri-Village in a little bit of foul trouble, get 39 points from Damien, a spark off the bench from Knox, and defeat Georgetown 88-67 for the team's 3rd consecutive district title. In the regional semi, it was a familiar foe, the Russia Raiders, at a familiar venue, Trent Arena. And a similar result, as Tri-Village would win 59-50. Another rematch would take place, Tri-Village squaring off against Marion Local. And it's the same result from a year before. The Patriots, once again, were able to get by the Flyers 47-39. The Final Four, and the Patriots are back. Tuscarawas Central Catholic. Say that 3 times fast. A broadcaster's worst nightmare. Earlier in the week, there was a press conference that was held for the media. They get all the coaches on the phone. You're able to ask questions to the 4 coaches that represent the 4 teams. And it was interesting because Trevor Miller, the head coach of TCC, had mentioned that he had scouted Tri-Village at the district championship. The Patriots were phenomenal that night. They shot over 70%. And probably coaching, you're thinking, well, they're not going to shoot that well against us. Red, white, and blue missed 1 shot in the second half. 10 of 11 from the field, 4 of 4 from 3. Mason had 3 of those threes. And on the biggest stage, did not miss a shot. Damian missed 3 shots on 13 attempts. Poured in 24. Game, March 28th. Tri-Village did it again. And when I say again, we go back to years past, where Tri-Village had taken those what-if moments and just advanced further in the tournament the next year. Bullseye on their back. Number 1 team in the state. Undefeated. And the Patriots are there playing for the big prize. In front of 10,000 fans, the state of Ohio watching on television. Tri-Village has a chance at history. First team ever in Division 4 to go 30-0. First team to 30 wins in the Buckeye State since 1961. The first Darke County boys team to win a basketball state championship in 45 years. Colton Linkus hits a 25-footer to close out the half. Gavin Richards hits a buzzer beater to end the third. And with 1.3 left on the clock, Colton makes the shot that so many dream about. 3, 2, 1. That 15-footer. So sweet. The only problem, there was still time on the clock. Timeout, followed by another timeout. And again, the wait. And then the shot. The other shot. A ball that I thought would never come down. And the idea of, that can't go in. To, that looks pretty good. To, oh, don't do this. Off the back rim. And the goal was reached. What a ride. What a season. Cross-County Conference champs 12-0. District champs. Regional champs. State champs. 30-0. Perfect in the conference. Perfect in the regular season. Perfect in the playoffs. Patriot perfect. To the players, I hope you can take your championship experience and put it into your everyday life. To take those what-if moments and instead of dwelling on the outcome, to just continue to work until your goal is attained. 2 qualities that I thought were overlooked at times with this team was chemistry and defense. This was a team that really liked to play with each other. And I think as an outsider, be with each other. In life, you're going to find yourself having to work with others. And in most cases of success, chemistry is key. Remember your friends and family. Don't be afraid to reach out for encouragement. In basketball, when you miss a shot or you're having an off night, your teammates are there to pick you up. Keep shooting next play. If you see a friend struggling, reach out. On the flip side, in life, if you're missing a lot of shots, if you're messing up, look for a friend. I think that great teams have great defense because that's the one consistent. That's what you can bring each and every night when you step in the gym. In life, be consistent. Continue to work. Be more than just a state champion. You've won on the basketball floor at the highest level. I hope you account for more wins off the court. Each year at the state tournament in the program, there's a list of champions. And for 2015 Division 4, there will be the Tri-Village Patriots, 30-0. Just 37 teams have gone undefeated. It's a very special group. This is an extremely special squad that represents a very special program. This championship is the result of years of great pride and tradition, from the band to the cheerleaders to the fans, the students, the teachers, the administrators, the volunteers, the coaches, the players, and the atmosphere. That's Tri-Village basketball. Everyone here has played a key role in creating what is a special community. A community so deserving of the best. In the future, a banner will hang in the battleground representing the best. The best team in Division 4 for 2015. And the greatest team to ever lace them up at a school rich with history. I thank you so much for the memories and wish you nothing but the best moving forward. Expect nothing, enjoy everything, be still, and go Patriots.